Bad Upwork profile equals no Upwork clients. Your profile is the most important asset you have on Upwork. You already know that. Let's skip the long intro. Here are 5 tips for crafting an Upwork profile that actually lands you those clients as a freelancer. Hey, my name is Dea, freelancer, digital business manager, and most recently, entrepreneur. And as always, you can find sections on the play bar below if you want to skip to a certain part of the video. Your time is precious. Take what you need. If you want to watch this on 2x, please feel free to do so. I will not be offended in the least. Let's dive in. In this process, I highly encourage you to be as client-centric as you possibly can, aka thinking, what is the client thinking as they read my profile? What are they wanting to hear from me, and what do they need to hear to actually give me a chance? And make sure you're addressing those questions throughout. First things first, your title. Your title needs to be 3 things. 1, simple, aka keep it clean, clear, less than 10 words ideally, aka you need to make sure someone will get what you do ASAP. So a bad example would be assistant, developer, astronaut, and voiceover actress, right? That's very confusing. What do you do? It's too spread out. A good example would be virtual assistant, admin, emails, and calendar management. Second thing it needs to be is specific, aka keep it relevant. You need to be thinking about, will this resonate with this ideal client and what they need help with? So a bad example might be writer, right? A good example could be tech writer, blockchain and cryptocurrency. A bad example could be developer. A good example is web developer, WordPress, Thrive themes. A bad example, consultant. Consultant of what? Right? Good example, digital marketing consultant specializing in paid acquisition. We want to make sure as much as possible we're giving them the details that they need to hear. When we are more specific, we are more memorable, and to the right client, we will be more impactful. So make sure as much as possible you are getting as specific as possible. The third thing that needs to be is SEO friendly. Keep it searchable. You want people to find you. So a bad example could be lawyer, right? I mean, if somebody's looking for a lawyer, you'll probably come up, but it's not going to come up for other key terms that your client might be thinking. So a good example could be US and UK lawyer, contracts, intellectual property, trademarks, right? Automatically, if somebody is typing in trademark lawyer, or contract lawyer, you're going to come up probably more likely than if you just had the word lawyer. So we want to use some of those keywords. A bad example could be the right hand of your dreams, right? I see that a lot. Sometimes people come with titles that are relatively cutesy, and I think that's okay if there isn't a search engine quality to where people are finding you from. Nobody's searching for right hand of my dreams, right? We want to make sure that the words that we're using are the words that they're using and typing into Upwork. So a good example of that could be virtual assistant to 6-figure online coaches. 2 optional additional tips for your title. Try out a results-based title, right? Put the proof in the title pudding. So as an example, it could be ads manager, managing 1 million plus in monthly ad spend, or social media manager, grew clients' Instagram to 10K followers in 2 months. Build that credibility right into the title and you'll be more memorable because it's also, of course, more specific because you're sharing a specific result. The second thing that I highly recommend is doing some research. Be a little sleuth. See what other people have. Search talent for like top-rated people and see what keywords they're using, because it's always good to know what's going on in your field of choice, of course. Second aspect of your Upwork profile, your rate. So your pricing. Start a little lower than the competition. That is my personal Upwork pricing tip. Everything is easier, in my opinion, if you are pricing competitively to begin. You are not marrying this rate. You can divorce it at any time. So start low, then with every few clients or so, increase it a little. My journey with my rates, I'll put it on the screen so you have some examples of growth and how fast it really can be in an online space. I find sometimes people are nervous to start low because they feel like they won't be able to get out of it. But the great thing about freelancing is with every additional client, you can grow, right? You don't have to work with a client for 3 years and then get a salary increase. You can do it very, very fast. So October 2016, I started at $10 an hour, went to $12 an hour, went to $20 an hour, went to 22, went to 26, 35, and the rest was, as they say, prehistory. Obviously, my skill set, experience, testimonials were scaling with these rates as well. I moved from kind of doing like miscellaneous content assistant stuff into content management, then into project management, and then ultimately became what I did for the longest time as a freelancer, which is digital business management. So this is all to say, don't feel like if you start low, you won't be able to get your rate up. You will. So start low in the beginning to get a few gigs under your belt quickly and those testimonials, and then you will be able to grow much faster and much more long-term than you would if you tried to outprice your competition from day one. The third aspect is your overview. If you do it right, you only have to do it once. If you don't do it right, you won't like clients. I don't know. I tried to make that rhyme. It didn't work. Your overview should contain 4 things. It should start with a hook. What does the client ultimately want? Talk to them at that pain point or deep desire they're currently at. Because their deep desire is not to have help with copywriting. Their deep desire is not to have help with somebody managing their inbox, right? That's not the deep desire. What is the deep desire that they want? And hook them with that in your overview. What they want is not your service. What they want is what your service will get them. So what does your service get them? Ask that question to yourself over and over to dig deeper and deeper and deeper into that issue. So as an example, if you're a digital business manager like I was, then my hook might be something like, what if you could just be in charge of all the fun and exciting parts of your business and hand off the tedious day-to-day operations and management to someone you trust? Or let me take the tedious day-to-day operations of your projects and the endless stream of emails and messages from your team off of your plate completely. Or you know you need systems. You know they will change your life and you know they'll help you scale your business to the goal that you want to get it to and actually allow you to take a real vacation. Yep, one where you don't even have to check your phone. Let me make that happen for you. Or what if you could take a proper vacation and know your business was being managed by someone you fully trust and who takes care of your business as if it were their own, right? You can see that I'm not really talking about my services, which is managing projects, managing teams. I'm more talking about what that dream business that they see for themselves could look like with me by their side. We want to talk to those pain points or deep desires they have for themselves, their business, and their lifestyle. The next thing it should be concise and easy to read. Make sure that only the most absolutely necessary information is included. What I do is I write the first draft, it's like a pile of poo, without editing. Then I take out absolutely everything that is not needed, fluff, blah, 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 rambling, Daya's childhood story, remove all of that. You want to be so concise that every single sentence actually matters and is adding to your overview and packs a punch because business owners are busy. So why say something in 5 sentences if you can say it in 1? I also recommend try to mix up the formatting a little bit to help a client see your key points, like use bullet points. They are your friend, they're your best friend, helps the client skim as well. And as much as possible, focus on that you language instead of the I language. Your overview should also include social proof, right? Reduce the risk for a potential client by showing proof of your work and your work ethic and your brilliance. You will be way more credible. So pick a solid, concise, no more than 4 or 5 sentences, I would say, testimonial from a client, from a past colleague, from a past boss, and insert it into your overview so that it's right there for them. They don't even have to scroll down to look at it. Clients do not want to hear about how great you think you are. They want to hear it from other clients. It's more believable. Your overview should also include keywords. Use those because clients search for freelancers using keywords. Think about what your ideal clients would be searching for in terms of skill sets, tools, softwares, techniques, frameworks, niches, industries. So for me, for example, in my overview, I made a list of tools that I'm very comfortable with using, like Asana, ClickUp, Slack, Airtable, Zapier, that kind of stuff, because my potential clients probably search things like Project Manager Asana or Project Manager ClickUp because that's the tool that they're already using and they want somebody who's familiar with it. And it's also a good way to establish this level of like, hey, I know what I'm doing when you have those tools there and they're like, oh, those are the tools I use. Okay, this person's already going to be caught up, right? All right, next section of your profile, your portfolio. Super important, many reasons. Credibility, proof you know what you're doing, gives a client clarity into your way of working. I would try to keep it to 3 to 5 really strong pieces. It's better to go for quality than quantity because business owners are busy. They won't have time to review 30 random small things. If your best things are at the bottom, they will miss them. So 4 tips here. Don't give away the farm, aka don't give away everything. We're not showing them like a step-by-step how-to guide. We're not writing a manual. We're showing them the trailer to the movie, showing them the coolest bits and pieces, the explosions, the cars and stuff, but not a guided walkthrough, right? We don't want to reveal everything so that they can just take that and run with it. Second thing is add an image. If your work is visual, you can obviously share a visual, very easy. Branding, logos, website design. If your work is not visual, that's okay. You can record a little walkthrough of what happened, keep it short, aim for less than like 1 minute, embed that video into the card, take a screenshot of the video and use that as the visual. And this is really important from the client's view that there is an image because there's a big fat no portfolio image if you don't have one when clients search for talent. So make sure you are adding that. In the project description, 3 essential elements to share are your original goals for that project, right? Your portfolio sample. What were the goals that the client originally wanted? deliverables, so what did you deliver, and the results. So those are the three kind of things I always include with every portfolio sample, with every case study. As a basis, you can always add more detail, but those are the three things that a client's thinking about, is like what originally needed to get done, right? The context of the project, what did they do? Like what's the service that is tied to this goal? And then the results, like what actually happened. So as much as possible, be specific, share metrics, because metrics are what clients care about. They don't care about, oh, I wrote a really good landing page. They care about, oh, the landing page increased our opt-in rate by 5%, right? So make sure you pull those metrics out. If you don't have any portfolio samples, make some. For a copywriter, you can write up copy for a pretend sample landing page. For a graphic designer, you can create a few graphics for a fake brand. For a digital business manager, you can put together a simple system and Airtable that you know clients are always asking for. In DBM Bootcamp, my course, I teach students to put together things like project plans, hiring systems, testimonial trackers, simple CRMs to show to clients, hey, I know how to do this, and I know how to do this really well. So essentially, you want to take what you offer as services and make a mini trailer, mini teaser version of that in this section. The next section of your Upwork profile that's super important are testimonials. So here's a pop quiz. Which one is more believable? I am really great to work with. 10 out of 10, I would recommend working with me. Versus
Daniel's really great to work with. Would recommend. 10 out of 10.
testimonials are important because we are all perceived as a bias. And as you land clients, you will get testimonials on your profile. But if you're just getting started, request those testimonials from people, right? So who? Old bosses, old colleagues, old classmates you've done projects with, someone you've done a one-off project for before, an internship before, anything. Rack your brain for everybody you've remotely had any work kind of contact with, business kind of contact with. Make a big list and send out those requests. And a big tip here is pre-write a testimonial template that they can lightly customize and adapt for you, right? Make it easy for them to do it, and they just might. And don't forget to follow up. I always give them like a little 4 to 5 sentence thing to be like, hey, here's one that you can copy and paste to get you started if you'd like to use it. Of course, you're free to write one yourself as well. I would so appreciate this, and then follow up until they actually do it. Now, very important is to click See Public View on Upwork to review your profile and make sure it all looks good. Run a super fine tooth comb over it and have a few family and friends proofread it and review it. And if you're all set up on your Upwork profile, then you will need these 9 tips for making your first $1,000 in Upwork, where we chat about niching, pricing, creating systems, and more goodies. Click. Yep, right there. Give that a little soft tap. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay.